When people talk about clean government, it often sounds like a campaign slogan. But on the ground, it's something much more personal. It's the difference between getting a business permit in a day instead of a month. It's medicine reaching a public clinic on time. It's a scholarship processed without extra fees. Clean government is not about perfection. It's about systems that make corruption harder and service delivery easier. Across the Philippines, some cities have built reputations for doing governance differently. Not flawlessly, not without criticism, but with visible effort toward transparency, accountability, and efficiency. This is the story of 7 cities that, in recent years, have stood out for cleaner local governance. We begin in Pasig. Pasig transformed its public service systems through digitalization and transparency. Business permits were streamlined. Financial reports became more accessible. Procurement processes were documented more clearly. Residents began noticing something subtle but powerful. Transactions felt smoother, more predictable. When documents are published and processes are traceable, trust slowly rebuilds. In Pasig, reform wasn't loud. It was procedural. Quiet improvements that made everyday interactions easier. From Pasig, we moved to Quezon City. Managing one of the largest cities in Metro Manila is no small task. Yet, Quezon City invested heavily in open governance initiatives. Digital complaint systems allowed residents to report issues directly. Budget information became easier to access. Procurement transparency improved. In a city of this scale, responsiveness is everything. When complaints are tracked and addressed publicly, accountability becomes part of the culture. Clean governance here means systems that respond, not just promises that sound good. Next is Muntinlupa. Muntinlupa focused on fiscal discipline and internal controls. Strong audit records and tighter documentation requirements strengthened confidence in how funds were handled. That may sound technical, but it matters. When budgets align with completed projects, when expenditures are properly recorded, citizens feel stability. Roads get finished. Public facilities function. Clean governance in Muntinlupa is rooted in consistency, delivering what is planned without unnecessary controversy. We traveled to Iloilo City. Iloilo invested in participatory governance. Civil society groups were included in planning discussions. Public consultations were documented. Anti-red tape programs reduced processing times for permits and licenses. What stands out in Iloilo is collaboration. Governance is not treated as a closed-door operation. When citizens are invited into conversations about budgets and development, transparency becomes structural. Business owners often describe predictability. They know the fees, they know the timeline, and they know what to expect. From Iloilo, we head to Naga City. Naga institutionalized citizen participation decades ago, allowing community representatives to sit in local special bodies. Budgets and plans are displayed publicly. Public assemblies review major projects. Clean governance here is about accessibility. Residents describe a city hall that feels reachable. When people know where to go and how to ask questions, bureaucracy becomes less intimidating. Transparency becomes normal, not exceptional. Next is Baguio. Baguio embraced digital transformation to improve efficiency. Online payment systems, streamlined business renewals, and accessible procurement notices reduced unnecessary face-to-face transactions. When services move online, they leave digital trails. That traceability reduces opportunities for informal dealings. In a city balancing tourism, environmental concerns, and urban growth, data-driven governance strengthens public trust. Finally, Davao City. Davao built its reputation on disciplined enforcement and consistent rule implementation. Departments document procurement carefully. Local ordinances are applied uniformly. Performance tracking is emphasized. Whether praised or debated, one thing stands out: predictability. Businesses and residents understand that rules will be enforced. Clean governance here is tied closely to compliance and consistency. Across these 7 cities, common themes appear: digital systems that reduce red tape, clear audit documentation, public access to budget information, citizen participation in planning, predictable timelines and fees. None of these cities claim perfection. Each faces criticism, each continues to evolve. But what separates them is the presence of systems designed to limit discretion, increase transparency, and make public servants accountable. Clean government is rarely dramatic. It lives in spreadsheets, procurement boards, and online portals. It shows up in shorter lines at City Hall, in clearer requirements, in services delivered without hidden costs. For citizens, the impact is tangible. It means fewer delays, fewer uncertainties, more confidence. When residents believe their local government is fair, they are more willing to cooperate, to pay taxes, to participate in programs. These 7 cities, Pasig, Quezon City, Muntinlupa, Iloilo City, Naga City, Baguio, and Davao City, demonstrate that reform is possible at the local level. Not through slogans, but through structure. Not through speeches, but through systems. And perhaps that is the quiet shift happening across parts of the Philippines. A recognition that governance is not about grand promises, it is about everyday delivery. Clean government is not a destination. It is a process, built document by document, system by system, decision by decision. The journey continues.